Okay, so here's a mechanism for a Watling Gooseneck machine. As you know, this actually came out of a treasury, and the treasury gooseneck's a little different than other Watling goosenecks, but it's close enough. Everything I say will apply to all Watling goosenecks. So if the mechanism's jammed up, the first thing you want to look for are any loose coins that might be sitting inside the mech where they shouldn't be. So what you want to do is you want to look all around the mechanism and see if there's any coins, especially down in that area where the slides move back and forth. You should see no loose coins at all. If you do, then obviously get them out, use some needle nose pliers or your fingers or whatever. Now if there are coins that are in the mechanism and they're causing a bind, everything is spring loaded on these things, and there are some pretty powerful springs. So when you pull the coin out, it may cause whatever the bind is to move forward or backwards very quickly. So just be careful not to get your fingers pinched. So assuming you don't have any loose coins or anything down there that are causing the bind, let me show you what the escalator should look like, and we'll zoom in on that. So this is the escalator with no coins in it for ready for the machine to be played, but you should see the last two coins that were played, and then right here is where the coin should rest if you've got one put into the machine and the machine's ready to play. If you see any coins up here, then that's probably what's causing the problem, and you can take a small screwdriver or your finger and try and work them down. If you put a coin in the gooseneck right up here and you don't see it fall down here, then there's something stuck in there, and it might be a coin that's dirty or got a bunch of lint. So what you need to do is take a small screwdriver, and there's two screws right here, this guy and this guy. Just remove those screws. That'll cause the gooseneck pieces to come apart, and then the jammed up nickel should either fall out of the coin return or fall down here where they're supposed to be. Now, let me go ahead and put a nickel in the mechanism. And so now you can see this is the last nickel played, and this is the previous two nickels. And so as you saw, the nickel just fell very easily down this chute and then into this position, and so then the mechanism is ready to be cycled. If the nickel came out down here, then there might be a problem with lint built up or something, because the mechanism thought you were not playing a correct coin. So what I'm going to show you how to do now is cycle the mech with a coin in it. So I'm going to zoom out. And the first thing I want to show is if the mechanism is partially cycled and then it's jammed up. So I'm going to actually do that. So let's say it was binding right here, and you wanted to release the bind. The way to do that is there's a dog right there which acts as a ratchet. Let me try to zoom in. I don't know if you can see it, but the dog is right there. So what you can do with a small needle nose pliers or a small screwdriver or your finger, if you want to try that, but you got to be careful, because these springs, like I said, are very powerful, and if you've got a bind, you've got a lot of pressure built up. What you can do is you can gently push down on the fork, on the main operating lever here, and then with a screwdriver or your finger, I'm going to use my finger, you can reach in there and push that dog clockwise just a little bit, and that will release the tension, and then you can back up, and that will cause everything to reset itself back to the idle position. Now, if it's not jammed up, I'll show you how to cycle it with a large screwdriver like this. So we need to put a nickel back in. You take a large screwdriver and you put one end of the screwdriver on top of this roller pin here, and the other screwdriver on the bottom of this pin. And then once you've done that, all you got to do is push down, just keep going. That will cycle the mechanism. Now if you want the reels to stay free spinning, all you need to do is either put your finger in here against this, what looks like a fan, it's actually a clock that governs the speed, or take a small screwdriver like this and just stick it in there. So then you can cycle it again. Now the reels are free spinning. You can remove the screwdriver and just hold the clock with your finger, and then line up the reels however you want to line them up. And so we hit 2 cherries and a bell, which I believe pays either 4 or 5 on this particular machine. So that's the mechanism for a Watling gooseneck style. It's a relatively simple mechanism. And now we'll show you how to put it back into the case. So here's the case. The first thing you want to do is make sure that there's no coins on the base plate. And then you make sure the 2 levers are straight up, the 2 locking levers. This is how you should hold the mechanism. Your left hand on the gooseneck, like that, and then the right hand on the operating fork. And then just slowly slide it into place. It should lock in. Once that is done, take the back lip, slide it into place. And once it's in place, secure the locking lever. Take the 2 vertical levers, put them into position. And you're ready for the back door. And you're good to go. Your machine's all back together and ready to play.